Today we're going to be talking about the book of Acts. Acts, what does it mean? Ongoing, still going, still connecting. The author of Acts is Luke. So what is the purpose of Acts? Well, you've got the document spread of Christianity that demonstrates the essentiality of Christ. It explains church unity through the Holy Spirit, shows sovereign nature of the gospel, explains supernatural nature of the gospel. It validates mission or methods of the church. It explains historical roots of the church. It's apologetic, the university of the church, and authenticates Paul's apostleship. It's internal, external, historically. God is on the move. The central theme of Acts is Acts 1:8. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes to you, and you will be my witness in Jerusalem and in all of Judea and Samaria to the ends of the earth. So Acts begins with post-resurrection appearances of the risen Christ. You've got a timeline. It's the 1st century AD, 1 through 100. You've got 10 to 3 BC, Jesus is born in Bethlehem. Then you've got AD 30 and 33, Jesus is crucified. 33 through 44, the Gospels reach Samaritan and the Gentiles. 44, Paul begins traveling. 49, Paul writes the first letter of the church. 51 and 52, Paul appears before Galileos, the governor, who took Paul to court, saying that he was teaching in a way that was against the law. 54, the 1st Corinthians was written. 64 through 67, Paul and Peter are put to death. 70, Jerusalem is destroyed by the Roman general Titus. Now, 5 functions of Acts a church needs to perform. Well, you've got worship, and we find that in Acts 2:47, praising God. Ministry, Acts 2:45, where they sold property to give to the needy. Evangelism, Acts 2:41, you accept his message. Fellowship, Acts 2:46, meet every day together in the courts. And discipleship, Acts 2:42, devoted themselves to teach and fellowship. Our growth is reading our Bible, prayer, connecting with church family, stewardship, witnessing. Peter's sermons points to miracles by Jesus, the power of authority. Rulers are responsible for Jesus' death. God raised Jesus from the dead. He rejects the spoken of prophets. And salvation is the only possible way through Jesus. Paul's second journey started with him checking on the churches that he had already planted. Well, they had conflicts, strife and opposition, painful confrontation, division, confrontations to avoid, not to close out for sin. He talks about the unity of the Spirit. Well, you have to recognize differences even with believers. Who differs with us and why do they differ in what we believe? Seek, discern the service or the sources of our differences. Seek to discover differences. Seek God's guidance to respond appropriate. And then Paul's third journey, he was the most successful. And then Paul's journey to Rome, he gets a message from an angel. Uvula means hurricane season. Well, the angel tells him that he is going to Rome, and everyone on the aboard the ship will be saved. And the ship will be there for about 3 months. Finally, when he gets to Rome, he serves 2 years in jail. So that's a total of 4 years. You know, by the time he's on the ship, and then the 2 years in jail, that equals 4 years. Luke never tells the outcome of the trial in Acts 29. Why? The reader is supposed to be the 29th chapter. God can use you if you let him. God gives us a power to incorporate our potential. We cannot compare ourselves to others. Jesus does not need someone's faith to act. It's his will. Keep the love of Jesus. Seek his wisdom and guidance of the Holy Spirit, and your conflicts will bring great advances to his cause.